maybe it will be uh, something very good.
All right, being Ben Jacobs, Fabrizio Romano, and maybe the Dominion Sport crew, it's not going to be easy for you to drop an update you're not aware of. That Eric Shell, the coach of the Super Eagles, was speaking ahead of the Poland and the friendly game they have right there, and he said Victor Sime. Looks like a player who is having transfer situation, all of that. Ademola Lookman is not going to be, available. Ali Hassan Yusuf also, the visa issues, rest. Femi Aziz also not being part of it. But let's talk about the situation quickly, Sanuruddin. Victor Sim has come out to debunk that situation. He said he put a call through to Eric Shields to say, Coach, that's not a situation. I'm not seeking any transfer. There's no transfer situation. There you have it on the screen. I just got off the phone with Eric Chels regarding the comments about me in recent interview. Unfortunately, his words had been taken out of context and blown out of proportion. He has great respect for Galatasaray. I followed most of our games and never intended to create any controversy. I appreciate the conversation, the opportunity to always represent my country, and I look forward to continuing to work with him. He is a great coach whom I respect a lot, and I kindly ask everyone to disregard the speculation surrounding this matter. Thank you for your consistency. That's the update from Victor Osimhen.
That's the way to go about it. If you have transfer debacle going up and about, and it's not the first time national team coaches have prior knowledge to what.
But that's not the way he went about it with Coach Finidi George.
That's not the way we went about it, and we all learn from our mistakes. We grow. That was one of the things that damaged the relationship between him and the fans and Finidi George and some ex-natural of players for the Super Eagles. So I think he's moved past that and he's learned from that lesson and handled this situation better. So most times coaches have one or two informations that's not known to the press already, but if he's come out and the team has said they're not seeking any transfer, we'll see who lied at the end of the day or what happened. So that's the way to go about it.
Right.
The coach is speaking from definitely has something. There's this talk about there's always an element of truth in a rumor.
Yeah.
So if the coach has said something, definitely he's heard something. He's a national team coach. He has inputs in different departments. The media teams of several clubs are communicating with him. So he knows one or two things that we don't know yet. So Osimhen has come out to say that's not the way it's going. And it's managed very, very well. That's what I've enjoyed most out of this saga. He's managed very well. If a transfer letter happens, the Galatasaray fans will not turn on him, the love and all they've spent with him. So it's just exciting, and we'll see what happens by the end of the summer transfer window.
All right. Mambo, one more quickly?
Yeah, I would say that Eric Chell mentioning that I must emphasize the fact that he was not in a position to actually reveal whether or not Osimhen intends to leave Galatasaray or not. If a player intends to leave a club, it is up to the player himself to announce that he wants to leave. I believe that Eric Chell mentioning that Osimhen has an intention to leave Galatasaray just creates, should I say, lay the background for unnecessary rumors, which Osimhen himself and even Galatasaray do not even need. Because the fans of Galatasaray will begin to speculate whether this player, whom they have so much love for, is about to leave them. It's a good thing that Osimhen and played the way he did rather than the way he did it with Finidi George. It is a good thing, but at the same time, it was just not necessary. But it's a good thing that the old rumor has been curbed.
Okay, beautiful. Let's move away from the Super Eagles, but let me inform you that they are the champions of the Unity Cup yet again, having to defend it in 2025. Now 2026, crown champions. Ali Hassan Yusuf, a brace, and Terry Murphy getting a goal in that game. The game ended 3-0 in favor of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. All right, let's talk about the Super Falcons squad for Senegal quickly because of our time. They're going to play the 5th of June and the 8th of June at the Ramos Stars complex in Ikene, Ogun State. And we have some name Chiamaka Inadozie, the goalkeeping position, Comfort Irabo, and the Lanin Imbechi of Rivers Angel. Right, defenders, we have Shukrat Oladipo, we have Rafiat Amiro Glory, we have Tosin Demayins, Shukrat Isaiah Blessing, we have Crystal Chibi. The midfield, we have Rashidat Ajibade, Alimatu Ayinde, we have Ngozi Okobi, we have Tony Payne, Jennifer Ichegini, and Kafaya Shitu. And forward, we have Azat Oshoala, Gift Monday, Joy, we have Francisca Odega, Folashade, Ijami Lucy, we have Ifeng, we have Rinsola Babajide, and Blessing Anchor. Those are the names called up by Justin Madugu to represent the Super Falcons right there for the friendly. I'm surprised for some names. I don't know why I'm saying Azizat Oshoala. I'm sorry. Ngozi Okobi. I'm sorry. Francisca Odega. I'm wondering, are we doing a reunion Super Falcons game now? Christy Ichebi still in the squad for the Super Falcons. Mabuba, you might have something to say quickly.
See, one thing that we've noticed about the female team, both for the football and basketball, is that we know that we've seen quite in some names that have been there for quite a long time. And we know that we really want to see, shall I say, certain new names come, because we know that to come to Ethiopia, these players won't be at that level where they're able to compete and play at that top level for Nigeria. And it is just a bit sad that we haven't seen, these new names come there to replace these players. We know that we have a big competition coming up, and perhaps Madugu realizes that some of the players in other teams might not be at that level of players like Aisha Doshuala and other names who shouldn't be there. Yes, we get that fact, but at the same time, I believe that friendlies like this are opportunities for the coach to ascertain which new names shall we bring into the Super Falcons squad, or which players can represent, or should I say can replace these players in case they are not fit. Because if we're having players like Aisha Doshuala, I have so much respect for her, but the fact that she's still at the Super Falcons, she's a great player, but she's not playing at that top level one we know her for. And for the fact that we have big competition for now, I might understand Madugu's position of wanting to still play this old names and still play them and see what they can be able to display for the Super Falcons. Because at the same time, we want to win. We have a big tournament coming up. Yeah. So I understand if he believes that this is not the time for us to bring in certain new names. I don't agree with him totally. Okay. But at the same time, I think I'm at a position whereby at least let's see at least 5 to 7 new names in this, so we can ascertain which new players can we include in this squad and which old players just have to go. They've served the nation, we appreciate their service, but then other people must take on the battle.
Okay, beautiful. You want to say something, but for me, I'm seeing some new names here. I can see Joy, I can see Blessing, I can see Anderlane.
Yes.
There's a few names. Quickly, you want to talk about quickly?
She spoke about Shida Shoshwala and some other names, but she wanted them out to make the Brazilian squad. So. That's what we see.
We know that these players are still going to play.
Yeah,
won't they?
See.
Won't they?
This competition is towing the part Nigeria has done in previous years. When it comes to 2-3 months to the competition, we assemble the old names that have done it for us, take them to the competition. If the coach has had more friendly games to introduce new players into the squad, then we can say yes, we can bring these new names. National team duty.
You just want friendly after how many months?
That's the problem. Imagine him bringing new players now for a competition that is just 2 or 3 months away. It's going to disturb the dynamics of the team that is out for a while. So for me, I agree with him a bit. It's still going to go with the old names because that's the way Nigeria has gone. If we want to include new names into our teams, we need more friendlies. No international window for men or women should be should be left untouched. Yeah. We need to get the players together. They don't get much training sessions together. Those players don't even resume training camps at the same time. That's to show you how crazy it is to get a group of players together. So, but if you have a set of players that have done it together before, the experience is there. Maybe for one last time, they get an. In subsequent times, we do things differently. But this time around, I think I'll go with Coach Madugu, whose set of players is employed for the friendly and for the competition coming up ahead.
All right, beautiful. That's the update from the Super Falcons. We're moving with the speed of light. Let me inform you that Nigeria under 17, the Falcons a 6-goal thriller against Guinea under 17, and aggregate the game ended 11-0. And let me inform you, Oluwakemi getting a goal. Amoni Chidi, Queen Joseph, Oluwakemi Adegbuyi, Amoni Chidi with the braids, and Precious Oscar getting goals in that game. A dominant display for the Flamingos in Ikene after completed an 11-goal route right there against Guinea. They've advanced to the next stage. Next up is going to be Benin Republic in the final of the qualifying round. Also, let me inform you that Shanamere rewarded 6 stars Flamingos with 4.5 million. Nigeria under 17 women's national team, the Flamingos, have progressed just like we said. And the proprietor of Remo Stars Football Club and Beyond Limits Football Club, Honorable Kunle Shaname, also said that per goal is going to give them 750,000 for every goal, and has redeemed this pledge by paying the Flamingos the sum of 4.5 million for the impressive outing. Right there, that's the update we are getting from Honorable Kunle Shaname. We need to move quickly. Let's discuss the UEFA Champions League final between Paris Saint-Germain and the team Arsenal, who so many people would have thought would lift the Champions League. I came to the studio and the crew were so anticipating. It's the coach of the. It's the fault of the coach, Mikel Arteta. But I have my expert analyst here. You watched the game. What went wrong for Arsenal? What ticked the box for Paris Saint-Germain?
PSG didn't give up.
Yeah.
For me, that's how you play a game. You don't score a goal and pack the defense as much as Arsenal did. But that's also a strategy to win the game. It didn't work out for Arsenal this time around. If they had gone with that 1-0 victory, everybody would have held the defensive masterpiece that Mikel Arteta.
The same ball possession in 2006, the same ball possession in 2026. 29.7 ball possession, 24.7, even lower than the last time they entered the final against FC Barcelona. And you call that beautiful football?
See, I didn't say that as beautiful. I said if that had worked for Mikel Arteta, everybody would have hailed him as a very good defensive.
It was already in the conversation of one of the greatest coaches in the world.
Atletico Madrid played Real Madrid at the final of the Champions League and got a goal in the first half.
Yeah.
They packed the bus up until the 94th minute before Sergio Ramos got that goal. So if they'd gone away with that victory, everybody would have hailed that defensive display. Okay, that was what you want. That's what you want to do. That's how you want to control the game. Arsenal could have done more. And we've said that time and time over again. You don't need anti-football tactics most times to win games. If you want to win games, you have to go for it, and that's what PSG did for at the end of the day. You need it's a team effort. So you defend well and you attack well. You take your chances. So if you don't create chances, you don't score goals. And Arsenal were guilty of that. They didn't create enough chances. They didn't stop the opponent as well as they did, and they didn't get the goal. And PSG came back into the game. That penalty got the goal 1-1, and the game went into extra time. And penalties, it's a game of luck. With that team, the goalkeeper of the PSG side deserves the praises. He followed the penalty well, and that was the end of the game for PSG.
All right, Babuba, you have other options for that game, and I'm sure you want to tell me some few things, because I saw a comment from Mikel Arteta talking about the penalty call that was not given to Noni Madueke for his side. For you, was that penalty call, and do you think the ref also handled this game professionally as the final we were expecting?
If I was to go whether that encounter was a penalty, on my own view, that was a penalty. And we know that even in that encounter against the PSG players, there were certain calls that should have been actually called by the referee. That was not. It seemed as if the referee himself was blind to certain occurrences that occurred right there during the final. But if I'm to look at that match in its entirety, I would say that Arsenal did not play that match. I say they wanted to play good football. They simply wanted to win. It worked for them when they went against Sporting. They only won on aggregate 1-0. It worked. So as Nuruddin has mentioned, assuming Arsenal, this entire encounter had worked in their favor, would be praising Arteta for the team being solid all round, not allowing the pressure of fans calling for beautiful football get to them. But after PSG were able to equalize, it basically destabilized them and ruined the entire plan from start to finish. And if I'm going to look at it, a team that basically has that level of possession of more than 20% possession and has just one shot on target throughout the encounter, that is not how you play a final. But at the same time, we cannot fault Arsenal, because if they play good football, fans are still going to ban them the fact that they still lost the final. So they basically wanted to do the things that worked for them. Score first, pack the bus, and whether it is going to work against Sporting, it just did not work against Paris Saint-Germain. But all in all, I would say that this is a team that Mikel Arteta and the entirety of Arsenal fans should be proud of, because they played the same number of matches right from the group stage up until this point.
Without losing.
Is that without losing? So if a particular encounter would be them considered, they didn't lose the final, was through penalties, and then they only considered just one. They didn't consider any penalty in their Premier League matches in the season. So if a change came in, yes, is that maybe no, yes. All thanks to PGMOL.
If we are to have this debate, we are going to stay here all day
thanks to
long.
PGMOL, but that is not Arsenal's fault. It's the fault of the It's the fault of the referees. So yeah, Arsenal did play football that benefited them. It just did not work out in their favor in this final. So perhaps next season they are going to ride on this momentum of them winning the Premier League for the first time. There is. Arsenal haters. You guys have lots of haters, honestly.
No, definitely, because it saved the peace of the world. Everybody's fine. We are sane currently. We are doing fine. I'm sure.
You need to see the scenes on the streets.
Everybody was calm.
Arsenal will have a lot of haters.
That's
in
the
football.
business. That's the business for them. Yeah, everybody.
But I think Arsenal's on the top level.
You mentioned, thanks so much, my producer. You mentioned that Noni Madueke call was a penalty. So what would you call this image you are seeing on the screen?
It is a handball.
On where?
Against who?
Against who?
PSG. That would have been a penalty actually.
For who?
Don't you see? It's an angle, clearly.
Guys, let's move on. Let's talk about the team of the season quickly so that Nuruddin and Mabuba can give us update in the world of basketball. We have 2 minutes to wrap up the show. Team of the season, we have Raya, we have Nuno Mendes, Gabriel, Magalesh, the one who missed the penalty. Great season for him, no doubt about it.
Just have to put that in
Yeah, Loriente, we have Vitinha, great player. We have Declan Rice, we have Vara Stadia, we have Olise, Kane, and Dembele. Also, Ada Gula is a revelation of the season of the UEFA Champions League, and one man, Vara Stadia, also picking up an award right there. Fantastic player. The most coaches with the most title, Luis Enrique, is not matching the record. Fantastic one for Luis Enrique. There you have on the screen. Carlo Ancelotti is still picking that order. Pep Guardiola, Pop Paisley, and Zinedine Zidane. Fantastic one. History back to back. You have Paris Saint-Germain doing the double. Madrid are still leading the pack. Milan, Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Ajax, Inter, Benfica, and Madrid. And big ups to the admin of Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. That's how you ask for a pay rise. You can't demand a pay rise better than that. No. Let's just move on. Quickly, give me an update in the world of basketball, and Nuruddin will prepare for tennis quickly.
Okay, so we're now down to the final stretch of activities in the NBA finals. We have New York Knicks and San Antonio Spurs who are now in the finals. And New York Knicks are reaching the final of the NBA for the first time since 1973. They reached the final in 1993. The last time they won the NBA title was in 1973. So they're reaching the final for the first time in over 20 years. And then we also have San Antonio Spurs who are reaching the final for the first time since 2014. And I do say that these two sides do have a lot to fight for in the last encounter, which is going to begin on June 3rd. And if we are going to emphasize more, we need to talk about New York Knicks defense, because in the encounter they played against Cleveland and also the Philadelphia 76ers, they won by 4. They won their 4th stretch of games without losing any to the opponents with the encounter, with defeats in the conference semifinals as well as the finals. And if you take a look at San Antonio Spurs, I'll say it was quite surprising because they defeated the defending champions, Oklahoma City Thunder, and it was indeed a bloodbath because they went behind after 2 games, only to come behind again to equalize, and now they finally broke the deadlock, or actually they broke the tie by winning 4 to 3 in the 7th series. So all the activities are going to go down first on June 3rd. The game 1 and game 2 is going to be played on San Antonio's home ground, and then the 3rd and 4th game will be played right there at the East in New York. But if there are any subsequent matches, and either for the 5th, 6th, and 7th games, it's going to be divided between the houses of the San Antonio Spurs and New York Knicks.
All right, beautiful. We're looking forward to the world of basketball. Definitely give you an action-packed bloodbath. I'm surprised. Who's fighting war now? Yes, sir. Saturday, quickly go to an update.
There's war in tennis.
Great.
all the tossings are gone. And for the first time in years, we are going to be having a new Grand Slam champion for both the male ATP side and WTA front. It's going to be exciting. Matia Kostyuk, she defeated Iga Swiatek over the weekend, and she extended her run to 16 matches unbeaten. That's exciting. That's what everybody's looking at. Rafael Yoda, the Spanish sensation, is making grounds in the world of tennis right now. That's exciting to see as well. And Zverev, like I mentioned earlier, has been tweeted to win his first Grand Slam. We'll see what happens with that. Fonseca is going to play against his Czech opponent later today, and we're just in exciting times right now. We're in the quarterfinals now. Let's see what happens in the semi-finals and the finals. And at the end of the day, we'll speak about the new champions we have on this scene.
Okay, beautiful. It's all smiles in the studio this wonderful morning. That's where we draw the curtain on today's show right here on Dominion Sport. But before I go, please make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, and make sure you like. It's 10 days to the World Cup. Starting from tomorrow, we'll start talking about the World Cup right here in the studio of Dominion Television, your channel of choice. We're going to leave you in the friendly game between Brazil and Panama that ended 6 goals to 2. Stay connected. This is Dominion Sport. Bye for now. See you again.
Alexandro pro Cunha, tentou. Está jogando de forma arriscada. Então Panamenha. Cunha. Lançamento à frente, o Waterman cara a cara. Vem todo mundo, lá vem Andrade, acreditou Andrade, chuta por baixo.
Lotes, que o time estava muito aberto e com pouco...
Olha a bola levantada na direção do Rafinha, não dominou legal, Rafinha faz... A bola saiu, Puma Rodrigues, tenta o cruzamento. Tem muito espaço, Bahia, não dando chances para Mosqueira. De novo para você, com paradinha, com precisão. Goleiro salta para a esquerda, a bola entra na direita. Igor Thiago de novo, paradinha, olhou para o goleiro, tirou dele, bola na rede, festa brasileira, bola no gol. Quinto do Brasil, Brasil 5, Panamá. Davis, Roger Iban. Bola na entrada da grande área, rodando aqui o Danilo, espirrou o taco, Iban subiu. Saimento pro Danilo, dominou, olha o gol, Danilo girou. Tá, Danilo, na coxa, no pé, no giro, na finalização perfeita. É gol brasileiro, gol de Danilo Santos.
And Robinson, I think this is going right in the corner. I mean, maybe just getting there.
This has been a story of US dominance through the opening 35 minutes. Turned over here though towards Iliman Ndiaye. And it's an opportunity for Ndiaye. Turner makes the save. I think it was going into the side net.
He's putting right, 2 little small steps, and he's not going to miss from there. Yeah, the ball sets up perfectly for him. That's a lovely finish, and they're basically challenging VAR to, yeah, what do you got now? What do you got now? Try to
Come on at half-time.
Cães com a arbitragem. Aí o aquecimento de ar. Vamos ver na repetição. A jogada vem aqui para a esquerda com Vinícius Júnior. Ele vai cortar para o meio. Vamos ver a posição do Casemiro. Adiantado. Marcado impedimento, bem marcado. Impedimento de Casemiro.